It is tax season, and Fox 2 News is committed to keeping you and your bank accounts safe. You know, every year, unsuspecting taxpayers are scammed out of hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Our Alexa Knowles is joining us with financial expert Dan Morris to learn more about some tips to keep you and your money safe. Good morning, Alexa.
Well, good morning, Candace. As you said, Dan Morris with Mainstay Financial Group joining us now with some good tips. It's tax season, which already gets people a little bit stressed out, right?
Absolutely.
And then we got to add the scam thing into it.
Sure.
So what do people need to know about scams that are happening this year?
Well, some of the scams, and one of the new ones out there is more or less the payroll scam. And it's already affected some home health care companies and other companies. But they're targeting like school districts. They're also targeting some of the bigger organizations. And what happens is a high-level employee, or acts like a high-level employee, ends up sending an email to the payroll company, and the payroll company clicks on it thinking that's the high-level employee. Next thing you know, they're into everything. The Social Security, they can access patient records, things of that nature. So just kind of be aware. And the truth is, I don't know that you can kind of protect yourself, because now payroll has to protect themselves. So in the next hour, we'll talk a bit more about how to protect yourself as an individual.
Right.
Because that one's kind of gotten a little bit, out of hand. There's nothing I can do about it. If my payroll company just made a mistake,
right, I'm
going to pay for it. So.
And what do people need to know? What are some clues maybe that this is not the real deal?
Well, the phishing emails are more or less out there all the time. Basically, when an email comes through and you're just not sure, you can go to the bottom of it. If you can't click on the contact us, you can't look at the questions, things like that. That's when you look at the emails. But I'm going to tell you what, some of these emails are just incredible, and most companies don't send out things like, we're going to cancel your account in 24 hours because something's been compromised. Just be aware and call your company. Pick up the phone. Don't just blindly hit the email, because the next thing you know, you got malware.
Right.
You got other people into your computer, your personal computer, and so that's a bad deal.
Something else you mentioned was the IRS will never call you. They'll never send emails or anything like that. So that's another red flag, right?
That's correct. The IRS will never come through social media. They'll never take a look at calling you and saying, hey, you owe money. You're going to get a letter from them, and normally it's a succession of letters, 3 letters. But the first letter, you call them and see what's going on. They're going to be cordial. They're not going to pin you down to, hey, we're going to have the sheriff come get you. And a lot of times the elderly are being attacked. And if that ever happens to you, get to your church, get to somebody you know, and ask, what is this really? Because a lot of times it can be scary.
All right, some good information. Dan's going to be back with us for some more practical tips on how to protect yourself from these scams.
Well, scammers are after your personal information. Do I have your attention? Good, because it's tax season, and Fox 2 News is committed to keeping you and your bank accounts safe. Our Alexa Knowles is joined with a financial expert this morning, Dan Morris, to talk about some tips to keep you and your money safe. Good morning, Alexa.
Well, good morning, Candace. And yeah, we have Dan here with us again. Earlier, you warned us of some scams out there. Happens every year during tax season. Let's talk about some practical bullet points that people can follow so that they don't fall victim to one of those.
Well, one of the things is you need to protect your number. A lot of times we have to give out our Social Security number from a medical perspective, things like that. And a lot of times businesses won't do business with you if you don't give out your number. But you can ask them, hey, can I just give my last 4? Because that's what they're kind of identifying with. So kind of keep in mind, don't just give out that number. The second thing is protect your passwords. I know we're kind of lazy sometimes and we put in, simple passwords. But if you do that, and it's the same password, if you get compromised, you get compromised on everything you have. So you might want to keep a little bit of a log and say, okay, I got to be more diligent, and turn over your password about every 90 days.
All right. And so what can people do if they think they are, unfortunately, a victim of identity theft or something like that? Well,
I'll step back a second. I was speaking in Sims, and what ended up happening is a gentleman said, I don't even have a computer. I don't have anything. We told you about the phishing schemes through the W-2 and the payroll. So guess what? Everybody can be compromised. I mean, it's just there now. You can reach out to the IRS if you have a problem, or you can go to the FTC website and say, hey, I want to file a complaint. But you know what's really going to come down to? You're going to have to get a third party, and you're going to have to protect yourself, is what it's really going to come down to. And this payroll scam that's out there now shows that everybody, I don't care how diligent you are, you're going to have to make a decision and get a third party probably to make sure that doesn't happen.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. And you also have a website where people can get some information. What is that?
We do. You can go to mainstayfg.com, and Miss Annalie Leonard is our company owner, and she has all kind of good information out there. It's a great website to go to for all kind of good stuff.
All right, so you can follow those tips. And still to come, do you know your money personality? Well, coming up on our most local news at 7, we're going to talk to Dan again about that so you can avoid making lousy financial choices.